All right, Aquarius, welcome to your weekly forecast. So there's still a lot of concentration on your 8th house. This is the house of depth, intimacy, openness, those walls coming down. You've been learning a lot about this for the past year with Jupiter transiting this area. You get a lot of energy with it now too, this deep energy, really good for research and uncovering hidden things about life, about yourself, things like this. You can actually even be enjoying this intimacy and deeper stuff in life and seeing the value of relying on others, interdependency and things like this. But anyways, yeah, the full moon at the end of the week is going to be in your 3rd house, and this is the house of learning, communication, and anything that's about exchanging, whether it's exchanging with your peers, your community, whatever it is. And so an awareness, right? So really good to do a status check. How is the communication in your life going? How is your peers, your neighbors, your community? How is your mental energy? You know, are you curious to learn, and are you open-minded in all this? And whatever this insight is about this practical stuff, you're going to notice it's going to help you now pivot and shift with this area for the next 6 months. Because 6 months ago, which was the beginning of this area, you likely started something new with it. And so now it's the halfway point, the status check. Really good to now be aware of any insights and then implement these new insights moving forward. Now at this, actually before that, let's talk about Saturn squaring up to Chiron, right? So your ruler squaring up to Chiron this week. I think there's been a lot of healing for you this year. Really, you could even say the past 2 years actually, but with your ruler squaring Chiron since December, this is now the final healing that's taking place now this week, and Saturn is even going to finish Ophiuchus here over the next month. And so then going into a much more expansive part of the chart, both for your sign and house, Sagittarius, in terms of expanding your horizons a bit, and then the 11th being about your future aspirations and your friends and network circles and things like that, probably getting more of an emphasis. But anyways, use this week. If any wounds do come up, A, be aware of them, B, accept them, and C, anything you can do to take action in the face of those wounds is fantastic. It's going to be a healing week, and that's going to help you align with the energies that are already compelling you and pushing you to do this healing. Some of the healing might be about your career, might be about achievement and success in life, but trust me, you're very good with this area if any wounds do come up with it. And then also too about your finances or your resources. If any wounds come up about that, again, steps in the face of the wounds can really help you rejuvenate these areas. So the full moon on Friday, Saturday also has some other aspects with the fast movers. Venus will be sextiling Saturn. So you're probably, you know, a bit easygoing, receptive, what's the word? Just willing to share, give and take, probably Friday, Saturday, which is good. But there is this, again, Uranus energy. All these fast movers have been opposing Uranus. This erratic energy of maybe wanting to make some changes with your finances, with your resources, anything like that, with your self-reliance. So, of course, listen to that. It's good to make some changes with whatever your higher self is telling you here about this. But, you know, keep it within balance and moderation. I think you'll already get the feel for that by the energy of it. But, yeah, I think good to keep the balance, because it really is a time of, again, depth and intimacy and openness and relying on others. And although self-reliance and the material life is very important, so is the non-material and the deeper and relying on others and all this are equally as important. I think maintaining that balance could be a good way of working with this. The sun is going to be trining up to Neptune, so there is also easygoingness coming into this part of your chart, and also with relationships, actually probably very good there, very receptive. And it's because you're at this point of the week or of the month just feeling like, you know, you are willing to go with the flow. You are willing to not need to know who you are, where you're headed, what you're about. Just been that Neptune in your sign influence. So you're just embodying that Neptune for the most part, open to going with the flow. And that's very much, I think, supporting your relationships. And it's also, you know, coinciding with the shift of the sun. The sun is going to be going into your 9th house this weekend and going into next week, which really is a transformation, because where the 8th house is all this deeper stuff, now your vitality and your life force is going into a more expansive part of the chart. The 9th house, which is about adventure, open-mindedness, travel, philosophy, you know, things like this. And so you'll likely notice that shift, and do give it time, because it's really just setting the stage for what will be new beginnings there in a couple weeks. 2 weeks, you will have a new beginning in your 9th house. Venus is still going to come out of your 8th house. Mars is still got to come out of your 8th house. So it's all happening in these steps. But it's definitely this metamorphosis happening. And this week, I think it is with your self-expression. Just seeing a bit of that top-down perspective of life coming out of that more cocoon phase, which is the 8th house. All right, Aquarius, have a great week. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you all very soon for the next forecast.